We got Biddy. Biddy calling in from Missouri. Biddy, you are live on Truth Wanted. What's going on?
Hello. I am so excited that the rock guy and the conspiracy guy were hosting tonight.
Hell yeah.
I heard the most absolutely bonkers theory recently. Apparently, the Great Pyramids of Giza have water under the base that is creating vibration from sound waves and is generating electricity. But the reason no one is taking advantage of it is because the man doesn't want it to get out. And
oh yeah, now, I learned this in 5th grade, Biddy. I mean, this
Tesla.
this is common knowledge. I don't know. This is part of Common Core in the Texas public school system. I don't know if you're familiar, but that's pretty standard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. I was in the Missouri school system, so I don't learn much about anything.
Right. I love how I'm the conspiracy guy, the rock guy and the conspiracy guy. I don't know how I feel about that characterization, Biddy, but I'll allow it. No, that's interesting. Was this so? Okay, so let me see if I understand. So the pyramids have water underneath that generate electricity. Is this like a Hoover Dam situation? Like they just got hydroelectricity going on, or what's the deal with that?
I have no idea. My friend just said that there's water under them, that it's like vibrating the rocks, and the rocks and the vibration and the sound waves are generating electricity. And because of the type of stone that is used, like it does something to conduct the I don't know for sure.
What are they conducting the electricity for?
A few things, and I ended up finding. What was that?
What are they conducting the electricity for? Do they answer that? They got to charge their iPods? What's happening?
Well, see, and that's the part I asked. And the part with that is like nobody knows how to get the electricity because the powers that be, if you will not let that information out.
Okay.
Kind of a government conspiracy on top of all this. Okay.
I guess the powers that be, is it the Egyptian government or just the New World Order? I don't know. Something's going on there. Probably too specific.
I'm not sure. It just seemed kind of the government and corporations, general like American kind of stuff.
Yeah. I guess we have an embassy. I guess the American government has control over the Giza pyramids. That's interesting. I wasn't aware of that. But that's really cool. So this is something that is something that somebody in real life told you, and you had the conversation with them about.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yes. So how did that go? Because I imagine you asked some questions. Yeah.
I said that is totally absurd. It's in the desert. Where did the water come from?
Yeah. That's one of many questions that you could be asking. So they wholeheartedly believe this, or was this kind of just like an idea they were running by you?
I think she was starting to believe it. She falls down a TikTok rabbit hole.
Of course.
And she also believes in like the witchy woo-woo kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. TikTok is going to radicalize all of Gen Z into becoming conspiracy witches. And that's the new reality that we have to accept. I've become more accustomed to it, but the rest of us maybe have to catch up. I don't know. But yeah, so I guess that conversation, I don't know, did it end pleasantly, I guess? Were you able to convince her at all with this? Like, hey, maybe this is just like not a good idea?
I tried asking, the kind of skeptical questions one might ask, and she just kind of dropped it. So I don't know if her mind was open to dropping that one.
Yeah, I think that there's some people where, and especially the TikTok folks, who kind of come across these ideas. And I think what happens is there's sort of a social phenomenon where they may propose these ideas to you or somebody that they trust to see how far they can go with some of these ideas. And if you don't immediately accept them, they might kind of dropping off. But I find that the ones who are willing to kind of share these ideas, they're like, oh yeah, and then there's also this, and there's also this, where maybe they don't know what truth from not truth either way, but they're just kind of fascinated by some of this stuff. And so I think that's how these kind of communities form, where they pride themselves on this sort of open-mindedness, like, well, this is the stuff that people don't tell you. This is like the hidden knowledge, the real truth. And like, it doesn't go like much more beyond that, right? Like, skepticism just isn't a value that's really, I don't know, valued in these kinds of circles, at least from my casual observation of this phenomenon. And maybe this is what's happening here. I don't know. I'm speculating, but like these TikTok rabbit holes, you're right, are not only super real, but also very, very deep, and can go to some pretty dark places. So I don't know. I would be mindful of any conversations you have going forward, because yeah, who knows? Who knows where it goes next, right?
Right. Well, and what's interesting is I'm known in the friend group as the skeptic, the atheist. They all laugh that I roll my eyes at their horoscope jokes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the fact that she came to me with it just seemed interesting, because it's like, I'm not going to believe it, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they wanted to make you a believer, I'm sometimes the person in the friend group where people will try ideas on me to see if it'll stick, just for laughs, I guess. And I don't know, maybe there's something to that, but these days it's hard to know when people are joking, and it's hard to know when people are really serious about some of this stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I hope your conversations with your friend become more fruitful in the future.
Yeah, thanks. I just thought it was such an interesting one that I'd never heard before. And I'll definitely keep in mind that maybe she is just trying to shits and giggles, see if she can get me to believe something.
Yeah, that's a new one for me too. It doesn't surprise me though. Obviously, Egypt has a lot of or Egyptian culture has a lot of conspiracies around it, both in technology but also in culture, because there's a lot of fake history that happens there. This sort of like basically like Wakanda is like kind of real in a large amount of people's minds, like millions of people, I would say. And that's kind of part of it. Like the pyramids are usually some sort of power source, or I don't know, center of energy or whatever. The pyramids are always involved somehow. They're really popular for these kinds of narratives, because they're like one of the only ancient monuments that people in these groups can really name. That's yeah, really sad.
Well, and so what's interesting is I looked into if this was a thing. Apparently, there was one research study that just said, let's see what happens if we shoot some radio waves at the pyramids. But they couldn't actually do anything with the results, because nobody knows what's all the way inside the pyramids. So they just had to guess. And the internet ran with it.
Yeah, the internet runs with it, and that's how it goes. And obviously, it's water for some sort of hydroelectric. I would say dam, but it's not really a dam if the water's not moving anywhere. I guess maybe it's an underground river. I don't know. What do you got, Kelley? Maybe
I was about to say there is some speculation that the river was moated so that the water would be like right basically near the base of the pyramid, so that when they floated the blocks in from down the Nile, they wouldn't have to slide them across the land for too much. So I mean, there was water there. There is signs of water erosion right by the pyramid itself. Of course, we're not going to build, if you're going to build a place for your body to be buried for all of eternity, you're not going to build it in a place that floods. But the Nile River actually used to come a lot closer to the pyramid than it does now. So you're not really out in the desert. You're on the edge of the desert on the riverbank, right? So I just wanted to make that clear. There is water there. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what rock would generate electricity. I honestly do not. That one's blowing my mind, and I can't figure that one out. So,
well, thank you for pointing that out because I wanted to know, like, is that even possible? You know?
Yeah, I honestly, I can't think of any rock that would generate electricity by being vibrated, basically, is with the way it sounds. We're using the water to vibrate the rock to create energy. And I'm not even sure how you would vibrate the rock with the water to begin with. The whole thing sounds really, really far-fetched when you start looking at the details of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not
Right.
great. Go ahead, Biddy.
No, I'm glad that you also are seeing how absurd this is. Like, I felt kind of bad for a second, but my first response was, that is absurd.
Well, we used to live in a time where you could read a magazine and somebody would post some crazy thing and you go to your friends and say, hey, isn't this wacky that somebody points that? And now it's like at least a quarter of people I know believe in something that's just like objectively not true in some I mean, more than that, honestly, but like the ancient alien stuff here, I was actually trying to find this specific thing here. I just found this right now. This is a Chapman University study from 2018, a survey of American fears.
Yes.
41% of Americans, apparently, according to this study, say aliens have visited Earth in our ancient past. And 57% say that ancient advanced civilizations such as Atlantis once existed. 57%. Maybe they didn't know, maybe they didn't understand the Atlantis part of it. Maybe they think that's just some weird other culture that they haven't heard of, but I don't know. Americans aren't doing so hot recently, I guess. And I don't know what to do about it. So anyway,
educate people more. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah. At least I can tell you, Biddy, I'm this way. Maybe you feel this way. Don't give in to your friend group and just say, yeah, okay, whatever, agree, disagree. Don't ever do it. Please, for all of us. Just keep fighting the good fight because we need it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. I'm with y'all. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for that. Anything else you want to add before we let you go?
Yeah. I don't think so. Thank you for taking my call. I love listening to y'all. It's a joy in my week.
Oh, thank you so much, Biddy. Really appreciate you calling into the show tonight. And yeah, thanks for sharing that story. That was a fun and terrifying thing to hear about.